Assyrians around the world. We invite all Assyrian organizations and representatives, such as associations, federations, NGOs, and Assyrian thinkers and activists, to join us on April 24th, 2025, in Yerevan, the capital city of Armenia, for the Second Assyrian General Conference, which will establish the first Assyrian global representative body. For over 2,500 years, we have carried the legacy of the great Assyrian Empire. Today, as a stateless nation scattered across the globe, it's time to unite under one voice. Together, we will create the Assyrian International Council, a global organization to preserve our culture, protect our rights, and represent us in international dialogues. Now, we need your participation. You can register and join us via Zoom, or it is best if you attend this historical event in person. We have prepared a 3-day agenda with proposed bylaws and structures for you to vote on. To learn more, email us at assyrianworldconference@gmail.com.
Hello, my name is Joseph Pirayou. I want to welcome you to this today's program in the beginning, Ashur. As always, this is a live program. If you have any questions, any comments you want to give us, I appreciate if I can answer it, I will. If not, we do some question and answer programs. I want to thank you for watching this program. Every time I forget, I like to be reminded. It's very appreciated that you spend the time to watch this and the support that you give us by watching. Well, Happy New Year. For those of you maybe not remembering, or you're forgotten, or maybe not celebrating, or it's a kind of confusion, but Happy New Year. Now, I want to cover everybody without offending anybody. So, Happy Akitu. No, let's not show that yet. Let's not show. I want to have fun with this. So we have Happy Akitu, Chab Nisan, Happy New Year, all of these good things, right? Now, let's start with the first one. So we have, this is from about 4 years ago. So it says, Happy Chaldean Babylonian New Year Festival, Akitu. Chaldeans, the indigenous people of Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. And at the bottom, it's the Chaldean alphabet, right? Because since they are Chaldean, this cannot be Ashuri alphabet, right? So that's the Chaldean alphabet. And they what they call it, emphasize. It's not Assyrian Ashuri, no. And in English, they translated Brichda, Akitu. Anyway, then we have another one. Let me see the next one. Next one is Akitu Assyrian New Year. Oh, can we go back to the other one? I almost forgot something. Can we go back to the other one? So there is a year 7,321. That was back 2021. So right now would be 7,325, right? So they're celebrating, the Chaldean Babylonians celebrating 7,325 years of existence. Then we go to the next one that it says Chab Nisan. It says Akitu, oh, sorry, not Chab Nisan. I'm confused too. Akitu Assyrian New Year, 6775. So 6775, 25 here, 25 over there. 300, is that right? No. 225, about 550 years older, the Babylonian Next one. Chab Nisan, Happy Assyrian New Year, Chab Nisan. Now we get more interesting. So we started with Chaldean, Babylonian. We started with Assyrian. Some call it Chabnisan, some call it Akitu. Then we get to my favorite. This next one, Happy Aramaic New Year. And same alphabet. Aramaic or Aramean or Syrian, they have alphabet, Assyrian, Ashuri, whatever, alphabet, Chaldean, Babylonian alphabet. It's exactly the same alphabet. Isn't that amazing? But that's beside the point. Then one thing I found out today. Can we show the next photo about the Aramaic New Year? So I don't know how many of you knew that, but Rishito or the New Year for Aramean is October 1st. I don't know what October represents. Is it the Gregorian calendar or Julian calendar or Aramean calendar? If you know what the reason is that they celebrate October 1st, it's not the beginning of a season. But the reason I'm showing this part, whoever made this up says, he says, five other nations who celebrate on a date other than January 1st, right? So we go through that list. They start with Chinese, it's in February 1st, Iranian New Year, Nowruz, and there are a lot of other countries in Middle East, they celebrate that too. Then we have Ethiopian New Year, 11 September 11, Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year, September, and Indian Diwali. And there is no mention of Chaldeans or Assyrians. I'm not saying Ashuri because Ashuri includes Syriac, Chaldean, Assyrian, everybody. So according to World Council of Arameans, right? First we have October 1st as the New Year. Then they mention other nations. Now I was thinking maybe they're talking about countries that they are countries, but Arami, Aramis are not a country, so we are like them. How come we are not mentioned on this list that my dear brothers, sisters of World Council of Arameans? How come you are not mentioning the Chaldeans, right? And Assyrians, right? It's just I don't know, just a question, and the calendar that they're using is it Gregorian? Oh, that's another thing. So we have the one issue is what to name it. Is it Akitu, Chabnisan, Happy New Year, Assyrian New Year, Chaldean New Year, Babylon New Year, Aramean New Year? Then the other one is what is the actual date? When is it? Is it in the beginning, like the Iranian New Year, Nowruz? Is it April 1st because the calendar changed from, I don't know, I don't even know which one has changed from what to what, from Gregorian to Julian or Julian Gregorian. Who is Gregory? Who is Julian? Who came up with the calendar? Anybody? Right? Cradle of civilization? Anybody? Our ancestors came up with the calendar, and we are going with others when they decide to change calendars, dates, and like sheep, we follow. Oh, April 1st, okay. Change it, okay. Suraya, okay. Ashur, we can't pronounce Ashur. Assyrian. Suraya. We always follow others. We somehow, I mean, one of the reasons we are here right now with all these different names, different dates, celebration, when, how, this, that. It's going back after we became Christians. Now, for 300 years, we're good. Can we show that Roman and Parthian empires? So this is the time when Christianity starts. In that place that you see says Judea. I don't know whose calendar, whose map is this, but it kind of fit with the subject I'm talking about. And in the area that you see says Judea, which is under the Roman Empire control, this is where Christianity starts. And when the disciples start preaching, going to missionary or whatever you want to call that, traveling, it's within that area of Parthian and Roman empires. And this is where our ancestors lived, specifically in the area that is called Syria. If you notice, there is a north part, it says Armenia, right? And let me ask you, who lives in Armenia, right? Armenia is named after Armenian. I'm not trying to be a smartass, but I'm just right. Armenian live in Armenia. Even now, country used to be under Soviet Union. So the people stayed there and the name stayed there. And now the country is Armenia and Armenians live there and they have their own language, culture. You know, we have some similarities. We marry a lot of marriage between Ashuri and Armenian, right? Then you come down, look at the map that says Syria. So what is Syria? Who lives in Syria? Arabs is controlled by Romans. But when we look in the Judea that is controlled by Romans, who's living there? Jews. Common sense. At least in that part that was Syria, maybe it says here Iraq, which kind of confusing because there was no Iraq until 1932, 33, 32. Anyway, so what I'm trying to emphasize is that during these two empires that they were existing, Christianity started and started missionary travels. They started preaching and converting. Our ancestors were there. We had our name. It was Ashur. It wasn't Syria. Sometime later, the Greeks, they mess up every name. Actually, there is this writer I was reading. It says Greeks mess up everybody's name. Like this, what they call it, the Cyrus dynasty was Hachamaneshi. They call it Arakchuk. Like, where did they come from? I mean, one thing that they have done a lot of contribution to uh, as far as knowledge, but they have messed up every existing name. They put X, Xenophion. Ah, let's not talk about that. So our people are there, they're existing, they become Christian, Parthian, Roman. So what I'm trying to focus is, as you know, this program is specifically about the program in the beginning, Ashur. It's for preservation of identity and name. That's why I'm going back in time, see what happened to our people. These are our ancestors that lived there at that time. You and I come from these people. And I will talk about further in time when these different, what they call it, different empires start and where we were, who did what to us. But during that time, we have a name. We become Christian. In empire, Roman Empire, Persian Empire, Parthian Empire. As they, what they call it, the Christianity uh, was spread more, then we get the other one. Let's see the other map. So we have now, no, not that one. The Sassanid, Byzantine. Do you have it? Yeah, that's the one. So after the Parthians, they lose the empire to Sassanid. Then the Roman Empire is divided after Constantinople moves. Constantine moves to Constantinople, which is Istanbul now. They start the Byzantine Empire. By that time, Islam has started kind of slowly, but they haven't taken over. So during this period of movements of these empires and powers, in the Byzantine Empire, we have our people, which was pretty much the same as the Roman Empire, and the Sassanid, same thing as the Parthian Empire. Our people living, existing, practicing Christianity, not losing their identity. There was no Syriac, Aramaic, Chaldean, nothing. They're existing. The only difference, as I mentioned in the previous program, is when the virus came from Rome or West, if you want to call it, actually came from Rome. when Constantine made Christianity legal, then they had these councils, and they started talking about Jesus, if he is human, if he is God, how much of him is human, and they started these different groups that we I talked about: Monophysite, Diophysite, Arianism, Nestorianism, couple of other isms, nisms. They started that virus when they started coming in these areas that our ancestors lived there, like Damascus, Antioch, what is that, Edessa, right? Nestorus was kicked out, so he became part of our church in the Iranian, in the Persian part. I don't know if I'm getting this confused or not. What I'm trying to say is that with all these denominations, with all these, what they call it, like, what is the right way to do the cross? Is it here, or is it here, or no? It's a sin. We just go like this. Or Sundays, what we do for breakfast? Do we do eggs with cheese or cream cheese? Is the egg, you know what I'm saying? They came up with all these, Jesus calls them man-made tradition that makes void the word of God. But still, with all these denominations, right? All these, let's say, dogmas that they're teaching us, we still kept our name, language, identity. How do I know? Because we are here now. Now, during the Sassanid, Byzantine, and these Rashidun Caliphate, when it started, persecution, killing hasn't started yet. Then from this period, we go to the other part, that the Umayyad period, if you can see that. This is, I mean, there are so many Abbasid caliphates. I have this book here, The Assyrians and Their Neighbors. It's by Dr. Vigor. And he's going from period to period. He's going from the Parthian, Roman, to Sassanid, to Abbasid caliphates, which is Umayyad is part of them. Then Seljuk Turks, the Mongols, they come in. So during the beginning of the Islam takeover of Middle East and parts of Europe and Africa, our people are still there. Different denominations, different rituals, or whatever you want to call it. Same people, same language, same everything, except different denominations. We have Maronites, Melkites. Melkites, they almost lost their identity. They became more Greek. So Maronites, Jacobites, Nestorian, who else? Church of the East, not Syriac, Persian Church, all of these. Still one. Under Turks. No, I mean, under the Islam, it wasn't Turks yet, but there were persecution. They did things in the beginning, they were tolerant, but as time went by, then I'm fast forwarding the Mongol period. I'll talk about that later, but for now, to keep the program, kind of in a level that we don't get too much, create too much confusion. So from Umayyad Caliphate, let's fast forward to Ottoman. The So this is the one I found. It says at its greatest extent, this map that you see here, right? So our people, the persecution really, really, really intensified. Of course, during the Shahpur II, I think it's the Sassanid king or part one of them, Shahpur Sassanid, yeah, 40 years. But with the Ottomans, it was just that's when the Kurds come in. Before that, before Ottoman, I don't even know what Kurd was or existed or whatever that they were doing. But once the Ottomans came, the Kurds, and our people had suffered big time under the Mongols, Mongolian rulers like Genghis Khan and Tamerlane. From I think it's in this book I found out that we lost about 80 to 90% of our people during the Mongolian crusades or attacks or whatever. It's very tough. You know, we are sitting here right now. When I'm reading, it says like, I'm the descendant of the 10% that was left behind. Isn't that amazing that you're still here? I think it's great. It's amazing. So, what is the thing about Ashur AC after clergy? So, for up to, I don't know, 200 years ago, even though the Chaldean controversy started about 500 years ago by Patriarch Sulaka, whatever his name is, but the identity came about a couple of hundred years ago that they separated themselves. I want to see that. Can we show that Akitu, the Babylonian one? Where do these come from? Akitu, I don't know about the name Akitu. Some people say they're Babylonian, Chaldean, it's not Ashuri. I don't know. You know, you guys that are in the power deciding what it is, decide what our name for the celebration is, what the date is. Now, I guess April 1st is becoming more common. Doesn't matter to me. I just want one name, one date, everybody celebrate together. But when I'm looking at this Chaldean, this is like a couple hundred years ago. Where did they come from? It's 7,321 or which right now would be 7,325. How do you come up with this? This comes from individuals. Individuals in the beginning, they divided us by denominations, by giving us different names. As I said, Maronite, Chaldean, not Chaldean, but early on. Then, but 400 or 500 years ago, this guy decides, no, I want to rule over this church. I don't want to be hereditary from father to son or father from patriarch to nephew. We want to do this. They separate, name change. The viruses that these individuals infected us, it took a long time to show its disease that is creating these names, these identities. We have survived under so many circumstances and conditions. We were divided by denominations, we persevered. Now, ethnicity being attacked. We have this group, Babylonian, Chaldeans, 7,325. We have the Assyrian. I'm not underside either. Not that I'm choosing this. No, I'm on the side of my people. We are one people, Ashur. Assyrians, Babylonians, Syriacs, Arameans. Then let's see the last one with all those flags. Can we see that one? Like this is. Can you show the bottom part? This is from Aramean World Council. World Council of Arameans. Then in parentheses says Syriacs. You son of a gun. What is a Syriac? From Syria. Who is Syria? You know what I'm saying? With their own wording, they give it up. You know it's not true. Why? Right? And, you know, something interesting came to my mind recently. I want to thank these people that they call themselves Chaldeans, Babylonians. These people that they call themselves Assyrian Church of the East, the only true identity for our people. I want to thank the Syriac, Aramean World Council, everything. I want to thank all of you. You know why? Because of your, because of the stuff, the information, the everything that you spread, they're giving us or me what? That you come and talk about, say, no, this is wrong. Give the history, because if these are done in hiding, what are we going to talk about? Everybody says, you know, we don't know what's going on. But specifics, I'm Chaldean, I'm Babylonian, I'm Syriac, I'm Assyrian. Oh no, we have history. We are one people. And we start by people trying to divide us. With their action, we turn it and we will bring everybody back together becoming one. It's not easy, it's simple. Happy October 1st for the Aramean New Year, whenever it happens. That's great, but happy Akitu, my brothers and sisters. Happy Chab Nisan. Happy Babylonian, Chaldean, Aramaic, Syriac, Assyrian, and everybody. Happy New Year. However, Ahiya, Ashur, Chaya, Chaya, Ashur, Shemid, Ashur, Mabqila. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next program. Thanks.
Sheikhani.